The views on this page do not necessarily represent the views of MACNEWS144. MACNEWS144 is committed to keeping this page an open platform for all Israel. Thank you all for subscribing and submitting your videos to MACNEWS144@gmail.com. We have grown to over 100 subscribers, so we can begin to stream live praises to the Most High Yah.
Yes.
All right, so
yes.
if you don't mind, my lord, go ahead and drop the jewels, man. We know what it is. I'll try not to move.
Okay. Okay, absolutely. So yes, Brother Shao Nagayana, once again, it's a blessing, to definitely, speak with you, man. Can't wait in the spirit, in the Most High will. We meet again in the flesh, King.
Oh,
so
yeah.
definitely is an honor and blessing. So with this opportunity that the Abba Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shah provided for us, for our people, is a way to get out of financial captivity. One of the ways that to do so is you wanna be as independent as you possibly can. That way Esau can't oppress us with the norm. Not only is it a blessing that we're able to come together under the power of the Most High to be able to do this and present this to our people as a huge benefit. It helps us to stay closer together, closer with our families, keeps our families at home, at peace, and we don't have to go out into the world, to deal with all the other drama and nations and Esau and all types of things.
Madness.
So basically, right?
Damn madness.
Oh,
bro.
Salaki,
Madness out
Salaki.
there.
Right, yeah, the madness, exactly. The madness is ridiculous. It's going to get worse, as we know. But, staying true to this walk, man, and in his faith, all praises to the Most High. So this helps us, to keep the high holy days where you don't be oppressed to, have to work, Esau's folly days and all other types of wicked days. We can keep our high holy days and observe them as the Most High commands us and instructs us to. So, it's really no excuse. It's basically He gave us and blessed us with the platform, and it's funny because the enemy uses it to the way to benefit them, and in the same sense, but not wickedly, but righteously, as we're being obedient to the Father. It allows us to operate in our households, in our homes, in our communities under the Most High and His instructions in Torah. We are able to abide by keeping His righteous laws, statutes, and commandments, His high holy days. And this allows us basically the freedom to build our own hours, as we feel free, and provide for our households at the same time. So this is definitely a blessing. It is a huge blessing. And, I just was speaking to one sister earlier, and she passed the background check. She passed everything. She did the voice analysis test. She did I believe she passed the system requirements, which is basically a PC scan. It is the system scans your computer just to confirm that you meet all the minimum requirements so that you can just progress to the next stage, which is officially putting in a request to join under our company, making you a successful independent contractor. So it's a process. It may take about a week or less, some, a few days, but it doesn't take that long. That's one of the blessings of that. It doesn't take that long. We don't send people out on drug tests and things like that unless the client requires it. Then it's out of our hands. But more than likely, depending on the client, they're not. It's not going to be one of those things where you have to do that. So it's a blessing, and I've been blessed to do this for when y'all came down, you remember I was working from home, and I had the blessing to even take off, at that time, to be able to, spend time with the brothers and build with y'all, and, what I'm saying, and still attend to the household, but it was a blessing, you know what I mean? So, y'all didn't get it.
I apologize. I got to say this, man. For those who don't know, Shar Nagayana is the vessel who Yahweh used that came with the original, and another Akwath who came with the concept. If you've ever heard the song "Thankful," I just want to say, I'm so thankful. That came from Sharsha. Yahweh gave that to Sharsha Nagayana. Me and Maharka was on our way back from. Do you remember which summit that was, King?
Yeah, that was the 8th summit, I believe. Wasn't it the 8th? I believe it was the 8th.
I'm gonna keep it 1200 with you, man. These summits, man, they cracking and they all go together, man. And this brotherhood and the love make you just the love make you forget the number. So I'm gonna say it was the 8th summit, okay? So we come back from Florida in the 8th summit, and this is the vessel, the man that the Most High used. I remember when we were standing there, and that brother, you know, he looked at me. It's like, man, I want you to try something, man. Here, play this. And it was over with.
Yeah, that's right. You blessed a few tracks. God, you blessed a few of them, man. You got a gift as well, King, man. You know, you got the flow as a lyricist and a poet, and it's fast, and you hear every word clearly and powerful. You know what I'm saying? So all praise. It was a blessing, man, to fellowship. And you know, I got some more tracks coming, man. So I'm able to
kind of get on that. With my hands out, brother. I'm standing here like a little kid at the corner store. Can I have
all praises. God, all praises. You know it.
Let me say, my bad, King. I apologize for cutting you off. I want to make sure that this gets done. I don't think it's had the opportunity to get done on a public platform like this. Who is the Aqua who sang the chorus, man? Double honors to her father and double honors to her husband, man. Can we give her due respect?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That was Sister Jones. She's from Virginia, and she, you know, trying to edify the sister, the Aqua, and you know, going through some things with, you know, dealing with the curses, and you know, she, you know, just I guess trusting in the wrong men, and they were, you know, kind of trying to break her spirit. And I said, no, you know, let's get right with the Most High. You know, we have brothers and sisters that can help build you up. You know, let's focus on the Most High, what He wants for you. So she ended up moving, I think from Virginia, I'm not sure, to Virginia to LA, or maybe Virginia to Las Vegas. But I heard from her brother, who's a DJ, she's supposed to be moving back because the industry tried to get a hold of her and get her to sign with a label, and she didn't want to be a part of all that wickedness. So I heard now she's on her way back to Virginia, and I said, hey man, use your gift for the Most High, you know, let's get it. So she definitely wants to build with the nation, wants to offer the gift to the Most High of singing on hooks and making songs. All glory to the highest, man. So I'm just waiting to hear back from her brother. Most High willing, it should be within the next few weeks. But God, I do. She says she's willing to work with everybody. She's willing to give it her all. So all praises, man. I'll keep you posted and updated.
Yo, all praise, man. Again, double honors to the Aqua, you know, her father, and to her husband,
double honor
to her home. Hallelujah, man. And if need be, man, I like to give information and contacts for the Aqua, and she needs some righteous sisters that's in the truth, or somebody else, you know, to see things from a different spectrum. You know, there's Aqua, there's Mashpakayan families that were affected by that ministry, man. Man, that thankful really, man. So the sisters, was, you know, and for you, brother, man, all praise.
All praises, man. I thank the Most High for blessing me with the ability and the skill and the knowledge to even do that track. And then I told her, I said, yo, I need you to sing it like this. Let's get it. And it's not an issue, man. She got right on it. And she's like, you got any more?
That's right.
Hey, Most High willing, yes. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, got some, probably got about 20-something tracks right now that, I mean, the Most High just put me in the spirit, man, 1, 2, 3, 4 in the morning, getting up and getting on that keyboard, and it's letting the Most High just bless me with the gift to continue to do it, man. I got some bangers. I got some flames in the spirit, man. These tracks are even out of my norm. I was like, oh praises.
That's right.
Oh praises.
Hey,
Said all praise.
You know it get good when you doing it. You start praising him.
That's right. That's right. I was like, man, about to wake everybody up in the house. So happy to jump up. My wife was like, everything okay? God, just praising the Most High. Working on a banger.
Hallelujah. Yo, Malak,
hallelujah.
So I do have a question at the water for that, and also
okay.
You know, to Yasha Allah, man. You know, Yasha Allah hear that very well. You know, all praise.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
all praise.
So do got a question now. I'm gonna ask you questions just from a base level. You feel me? So and forgive me because I don't really know a lot. I've been turned down a lot in Babylon. I'm not quick. You know, I got me a little security blanket of a little bit of a job, and I don't know if I want to let go of that in order to do this, but I kind of do. So let me ask you a question. Would it be worth it? If you know, right now I'm getting minimum wage, homie. Would it be worth it if I stepped away from that and took this on? I mean, how much of a risk would I be taking?
With this, with the client, I would say if you don't mind me asking, King, when you say minimum wage, what is the minimum wage rate for your state? Because the lowest amount that I've seen was what, $9.40 per hour. But it is $9.40 also with incentives. You know, you can make extra just by working extra hours.
Okay.
You know.
So my minimum wage, man. I mean, I'm getting 11, homie. You know, and it's not really. You know, I mean, you know. So yeah, will it be worth letting it go?
I would say yes, but before you do that, I would say, definitely get into that and don't just let it go entirely. You know, you want to hold on to that just in case if it's like, you know, you jump into it and it's not your fit. You know, you're like, I ain't really feeling this. Because sometimes it could be that, or sometimes it could just be the particular client. Because when I jumped into it, I jumped in with Roadside America. And boy, oh boy, listen, it was like, they gave me the business. Like I would say the first 3 calls, I probably got cussed out, and I normally wasn't dealing with, you know, customers like that. And I was like, wait a minute, why am I getting cussed out? And then when I took the training, it all hit me, and it was like, hey, you're gonna get customers that are stranded on the road. They're gonna be upset. And this particular customer, I couldn't even help him because if I call him sir, he cussed at me. If I said, I'm sorry to hear that, he cussed at me. If I said, thank you, sir, he cussed at, like, everything, like, that was the call, the worst possible call that anybody could ever receive. But that was for that particular client.
Wait. On day one.
Yes. It was like 5 minutes. I was out. They said, all right, Maurice, good luck to you. And I said, all right, thank you, you know, appreciate it. And then the phone rung like 5 minutes later. And then I was getting chewed up. Like, the man was just like, and I felt like he was making, like, he probably was about to pass out because he was making his blood pressure high. You know, I can't help it that your tire blew out and you in the middle of a desert and you like about 50 miles away from the closest, you know, civilization. You know, I'm trying to help you. And I'm like, sir, I need your location. He's like, shut up. And I'm like, okay. You know, I'm like, all right. And I said, well, sir, you know, I want to make sure that you're in a safe environment. Are you out of the road? Shut up! And I was just like, okay. I said, I see where this call is going to go. Sir, I need, you know, I'm like, sir, I need your name. I need your account number. He was just like, you should already have it. Well, sir, I can't get that information. We can't read minds. We need this information to input in the system to properly pull your account up. Well, you should know it. And then he only gave me his first name, and he didn't want to give me his last. Like, it was just like one of those calls. And then it just basically, the Most High just ended the call. The call hung up. And I said, all praises, you know, and moved on to the next. And then I got it was a brother. He was like, hello, brother. He said, broke down, and I'm just looking to get some help. I was able to locate him faster, quicker, and that call was even better, and that helped me to stay at a 3-star rating because you get rated as an agent as well. Even if but now it's kind of different. Now they don't have you know, a lot of the clients, they don't like when you service for them to receive that type of abuse. So it is considered verbal abuse when a customer's cussing at you, yelling, screaming, for no apparent reason when you're there to help them. So they kind of changed things now and made it a little bit more easier in dealing with them with the script. All praises.
Okay, all praises. All praises. So yeah, so you know, I really appreciate that, King. So question, how much of a hassle would it take for me to not have to work on the Sabbath? Because see, one of my things is like, you know, I really want to, but I know we got to get that, I got to get that bread. Here goes something else. Ridicule like high holy days, man. You know, we got to sometimes take like a, you know, Feast of Booths. We got 2 high holy days in there. So it's like, man, I really don't want the confrontation, and I want to be able to still be able to make my money with being able to, like Day of Atonement. You know, so I mean, I don't want to let go of this, and I know that he might let me get the Day of Atonement off in order to take the chance that I, you know, with that. So how much would I be able to keep the holy days?
To keep it the holy days is really not even really so much of a challenge. I mean, even if it's in terms of a week, as long as you don't, you know, just to keep the SOW, which is another word for contract, they call it service of workflow. Long as you work in between that time, even if you got to take a 2 days off here, a week off here, you know, they don't penalize you for that, you know, per se. Now they may say, hey, this is during our most busiest time, you know, instead of a week, can you take 3 days or 4 days? You know, they kind of work with you, but it's a lot better than jumping out there dealing with Esau directly. You know, they be like, hey, listen, you know, you got to be here. You got to
take it or leave it. This is your only chance, nigga. Take it.
Yeah, it's like, it's, if you don't take this, then we gonna call Johnny around the block. You know, exactly. So it's like, okay, well, hey, you know, but at least with us under the Arise platform, you get to do that, and that's basically, you're able to achieve that by putting in a ticket. And we do the trainings for that. We set up for that as well, help and assist with that. You do the waiver ticket. It's called a waiver, and it's called a time away, or it's called a time off. So basically, if there's an emergency, you do a waiver. Hey, I know I picked this time. I couldn't work it. Can you excuse it? And then they would excuse it, you know. And then if it's, oh, I need this time off, I need a time off away, then, you know, for X amount of days, they will approve it. And you'll get the approval right then and there, or they're confirmed via email not too shortly after.
My Lord, that sounds very simple.
Oh, yeah.
What about like regular schedules? Like, you know, I can't work every Shabbat, man, and then sometimes on New Moon. So could that be? So would that be? Well, not sometimes. Matter of fact, it's not ever possible on New Moon.
Right.
So with that being said, I mean, would there be is there a mentality already with this company that, okay, I can always regularly have these normal times?
Yeah, Con, you can every week. You can.
Wait, I don't know. You
don't have to work.
You said that kind of quick, brother.
Yeah.
That really like that simple.
Well, I would say this: they will require you to do a weekend, which is a Saturday or a Sunday, and how you can do it is, if it's during the time of Shabbat, you could do it before or you could do it after. Anytime before or after, and how it works is they break it up into Saturday or Sunday, and you can say, well, I don't want to work Saturday at all. And I don't, and then you could just work the whole day Sunday and do your hours there. So they could say, normally, if it's the weekend, they will at least require you to work a Saturday, or not saying you have to work a Saturday, but it's an option. They'll say, how do you want to work? Do you want to work Saturday and Sunday, 1 hour each day, or 2 hours each day? Or do you want to do one of those days 4 hours in total, 2 to 4 hours in total? So you have that as an option where you can do that.
You know, my Lord, I'm very grateful to hear that, man. You made that very plain. All praise. That you know, I had to sit here and hold the shout in while you was explaining,
God.
Do you hear me?
God.
Now that you're done, hallelujah.
Hallelujah. That's right. Hallelujah.
So how often do you have to work on the Shabbat?
Never.
That's what I'm saying.
Never. All praises,
all
man.
Praises.
All praises.
Hallelujah. Long live the King.
All praises.
All right, so
Hallelujah.
so with that being said now, help give me some security, some peace of mind, man. I mean, like, you know,
right.
What talk to me about the one thing that all Jake really don't want to talk about for real, which is money, man. Look, and let me read this scripture, man. This is a condition of the Elijah Yasha Allah, my Lord. I'm gonna go to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, man. And me and the Mashpakah, we was just reading this. So Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, we see that this is a thing that our people go through.
Twins Squad. The Mac. It's 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 the Mac.